I had a 40-year career in print at two great newspapers at a time when they were enjoying near monopoly profits. The web destroyed that business model. The Journal's doing better because it was acquired by News Corporation, which is basically an entertainment company, and can hide $100 million in losses in their billion-dollar enterprise, at least for a while, and at least when the CEO, Rupert Murdoch, wants to. We are 33 journalists, 30 in New York, 3 in Washington, all on staff. Plus, I've got a couple of $100,000 in freelance budget. The goal is to have everything we do focused on, in some way, exposing or shining a light on abuse of power, failure to uphold the public interest. Our approach is twofold. We have our own website, www.propublica.org, and everything we do ultimately ends up there. But our biggest stories we take to major existing platforms. We partnered with the Albany Times-Union, which is a relatively small newspaper, but it's in the capital of New York State. And the story we were focusing on, it's a national story. It's about how deep drilling for natural gas, it poses risk to the water supply, because the way you do it is you drill a hole 2 miles deep and you pump enormous amounts of water into it under high pressure. When the water comes up, it's got all sorts of ugly chemicals in it, and you have to be very careful about how you dispose of that water. Vice President Cheney's energy bill, former Vice President Cheney's energy bill, had exempted this drilling from EPA regulation. So it was left to the states. The states are, for the most part, not very good at regulating this stuff. And the governor of New York was about to give carte blanche to the industry to drill wherever it wanted in New York, including in the watershed that supplies New York City. Well, when our story ran, the governor tightened his position. And then finally, there was a question about our credibility. Our principal funders have donated to moderately liberal causes in the past, and there was a concern on the right that we would be playing only on the left side of the aisle. And I pointed out to people at the beginning that I'd spent 16 years as the managing editor of the Wall Street Journal, where my bosses, and Ann can testify to this, were way more conservative than the Sandlers are liberal, and I managed to do a down the middle news package at the Wall Street Journal. I could certainly do it at ProPublica. There are places, not just ProPublica, but I mean, we have a very active internship and fellowship program where people come right out of graduate school and kick ass. Also, I think you will see investigative reporting programs at a variety of universities and colleges. Not just journalism programs. Some law schools are doing them. I think in the new era, the university will be a significant platform for doing investigative reporting. Last point I would make to you is that there's a total revolution in what we do, journalism. The web is providing all kinds of information and opinion that people couldn't get before at a good price, often zero, and when not zero, cheap. At the same time, investigative reporting and foreign reporting and some other kinds of important reporting have been hammered. And the question is, how will democracies still get that stuff? So the change is going to continue. It's what I used to say to my colleagues at the Journal is, this is not a problem to be solved, it's an issue to be managed. And what it means for your careers is that you're not going to be able to do, at least not in the next 10 years or so, what I did, which is to find a great place to go work, kick and scratch and get yourself in there, and then have all those tools and security at your disposal. That's just not going to be what you face. What you will face is the need to be entrepreneurial about your careers and the opportunity to be at the start of something really big. I hope one of you or two of you are the next William Randolph Hearst and Michael Bloomberg of journalism, and others of you have tremendous fun finding out stuff and communicating it in forms, some of which we can imagine and some of which we cannot.